Hey everyone, Richard here, and I have a haul video, so let's just get into it. Alright, so like I said, got a haul video. The Tucson Toy Show was this weekend, and I went and picked up a few things. Tucson Toy Show is probably my favorite show of the year as far as picking up collectibles. Tucson Comic Con is great for guests and what have you, but Tucson Toy Show is hundreds and hundreds of booths that are just people selling collectibles. Basically anything you can think of, from comics to toys to cards to records to video games. If it's collectible, they probably have it there. And this is the first time we've had it since 2020. Everything went into lockdown mode 3 days after the 2020 show, so it's been a while. It's overdue. Um, yeah, I just love this show. Unfortunately, they cut it down to one day the last two times, which I don't understand why. It's definitely big enough to sustain 2 days, and I definitely know I would be going both days if they had it both days. But yeah, let's just get into it and start showing some stuff. I actually picked this up like a few steps into the show. There was a little booth there, and the guy had a box of comics, so everything was 50 cents each. Um, and this comic is beat to hell. It's got a big chunk missing out of it, but for 50 cents, Amazing Spider-Man 112, obviously a big chunk out of it, but who can really complain at 50 cents? And I actually learned in picking this book up, because I've only ever read this book digitally. I have a nicer copy, so I verified it's I guess like a common thing on it, but it's actually a printing defect in Spider-Man right here, where he's missing the blue in his costume. Uh, and I didn't know that until I picked this one up, so 50 cents, I think that's a good price of admission to learn that little bit. So pick that up from that one booth. So all I really picked up from that booth. One thing at these shows, I don't actually hit people who sell comics typically. I'm usually going to the toy booths and finding the comics that they're selling, mainly because if you're a comic seller there, you know what you have and you charge a lot of money. And that's not how I like to hunt this show. I usually go to the people who don't necessarily specialize in comics, and they price their stuff a little more fairly. So yeah, went to another booth that was exactly that. They're actually primarily a Star Wars toy booth, and I wish I knew more about toys, because I feel like I could have gotten some really nice stuff from that booth if I did. I know I passed on one loose figure that was $5. That's actually worth $50. Again, I wish this was a 2 day con, because I would have went back and grabbed that. But they had a few short boxes, and it was five five for five, or $2 each. So this first one I picked up basically just to hit that $5 limit. But Mobile Suit Gun and Wing, a Tokyo Pop comic, it's worth like $5 to $8. I picked it up just because some of these Tokyo Pop stuff, they jump in value for no real known reason. So grab that one. But the main comics I wanted from that booth was a Savage Dragon #2. Grabbed it because it's a newsstand edition. Whenever I see Savage Dragon, these early issues newsstand, I pick them up. I think they have a lot of room to them. And I also got a #1 newsstand. I haven't bagged and boarded any of this stuff yet, so some of it's just as I found it. But newsstand for $1, why not? Picked up this one, Itchy and Scratchy Comics #1. Again, a newsstand copy, so not going to leave some nice bongo comics behind. I also grabbed this one, Simpson Comics #1. Again, newsstand. This is the $1.95 version, so it doesn't have the poster that you see in the direct one, but still, pretty nice grade for a newsstand issue. That's all I got from that booth. And give me a second, I'll grab what else I picked up. Alright, so one nice thing about it being one day is once you get about halfway through the day, people are wanting to move stuff because they want to sell things, and people start reducing their prices. And several people were cutting their prices 50%. Just take it, 50% off. And I was looking through a booth, and they had a Archie's Comic long box. Everything 50% off. And I was looking through it, and it was mostly like 80s and 90s stuff that's pretty common. But I ran into this She's Josie #2. It had $39 on it, but it was 50% off. And I had to pick it up because this is not an easy title to get, especially early numbers like this. I have a 1 and a 4, but did not have a #2. And this is just one of those titles when you see it, you should just pick it up because it's not the most common thing in the world. So very happy to get that. They called it a fine. I think it's probably more VG plus, but again, for 50% off, I'll pick that up every day. It's just one of those things you grab when you see it. All right, and then I found another booth. This guy he enjoyed talking. Not a comic guy at all, but he bought a storage unit and had a bunch of 80s and 90s DC books. Basically bought and then just stored away and never looked at. Unfortunately, I got there a little late because apparently he had some really good stuff that people scooped up. The person in front of me dropped like $600 and he had a big old stack of stuff. Again, these were 50% off, so I paid $60 for both of them. First one, DC Comics Presents number 49, just an early Black Adam cover. The reason I got this is it is extremely high grade newsstand, and yeah, I need to get it in Mylar because that bag is rough, but I couldn't pass it up at that price. And the other book I got from him, again, same story, really high grade newsstand, Batman 386, first Black Mask. Again, I need to get it in a new bag, but $60 for both of those. High grade newsstands. And I didn't have either of them. I have a direct edition of the other one, but I don't have any version of this, so yeah. Happy to add those to the collection. And I only picked up one more thing. I kind of wish I had. I went into this con with $200 in my pocket, and I said that's all I was going to take unless I found something that was like a grail level purchase that I needed. I only ended up spending $150 overall, and 10 of that was just the entry fee. I picked up a piece of artwork. It's a sketch cover. There were several artists there doing work. I wish I had a little more money just so I could have grabbed more art, but I decided to go with this one just because I hadn't seen his stuff before. He actually has his own, I guess, line of comics. It's Spiral Inc. comics. Very much not safe for work type stuff. But still, he's a phenomenal artist, and he was selling this. This is a sketch cover, a black cat. Only cost me $40, and yeah, very, very happy with that purchase. Nice piece of original art. Yeah. And yeah, that is everything I picked up at this convention, or I guess more toy show, expo, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I really wish this was a 2-day con. This is the type of con where I would pay entry fee again just to get in a second day, because you never feel like you have enough time to get through everything. I know I didn't see everything that I wanted to see. I didn't get to dig in a few places that I wish I had more time to dig. I really don't know why they cut it down to one day. It's just a phenomenal show, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. Hopefully, y'all enjoy this, and yeah, take care, everyone.